Welcome back to the Empowerment Library. If you're new here, this is the place where we break down life-changing books on personal growth, mindset, and financial success, so you can level up one book at a time. Previously, we've dived into Atomic Habits by James Clear, where we uncovered how tiny changes can lead to massive transformation. We also explored Rich Dad Poor Dad, learning powerful money mindsets that schools never taught us. But today, buckle up, because we're diving into a brutally honest and eye-opening read. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a FCK, by Mark Manson. This one is bold, real, and it flips traditional self-help advice on its head. So, if you're ready to care less about the noise, and more about what actually matters, let's get into it.
Introduction: The unconventional path to a meaningful life. We live in an age of relentless self-improvement, where the pursuit of happiness has become an exhausting, never-ending race. Social media bombards us with images of perfect lives, productivity gurus promise endless motivation, and the self-help industry sells the illusion that if we just try harder, we can eliminate all our problems. But what if this obsessive focus on positivity and achievement is actually making us more miserable? Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a FCK flips conventional wisdom on its head. It's not about avoiding problems or chasing constant happiness. It's about choosing the right problems to solve and caring deeply about what truly matters while letting go of everything else. Manson's philosophy is grounded in brutal honesty, dark humor, and a refreshing dose of realism. Why this book is different. Most self-help books preach blind optimism. Believe in yourself. Stay positive. The universe will reward you. But Manson argues that this approach is fundamentally flawed. Life isn't about eliminating struggle. It's about finding the right struggles, the ones that give your life meaning. Happiness isn't the absence of problems. It's the process of solving meaningful ones. You're not special, and accepting that fact is the first step toward real growth. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the necessary path to it. Death isn't something to fear. It's the ultimate motivator to live authentically. This book isn't about apathy or nihilism. It's about strategic indifference, learning to give fewer FCKs about trivial things so you can focus on what truly matters. What you'll learn: how to stop chasing happiness and start embracing struggle, because that's where growth happens. Why entitlement makes you miserable, and how to break free from it. How to take radical responsibility, even when life feels unfair. Why failure is necessary and how to use it to your advantage. The power of saying no, so you can say, hell yes, to what really counts. How confronting death can make your life richer, not more depressing. Who this book is for. This isn't for people who want quick fixes or empty affirmations. It's for those who are tired of superficial advice and ready to confront life's uncomfortable truths. If you're sick of pretending everything is fine when it's not, if you're exhausted by the pressure to always be positive, and if you're ready to take ownership of your life, flaws, failures, and all, then this book is for you. Final thought: The Subtle Art of Not Giving a FCK isn't just another self-help book. It's a wake-up call. It won't tell you to follow your dreams without caution or pretend that life is fair. Instead, it offers something far more valuable: a roadmap for living a meaningful life on your own terms, without the burden of unrealistic expectations.
Chapter 1. Don't Try the Paradox of Effort. This radical opening chapter dismantles the modern cult of achievement by exposing effort itself as a double-edged sword. Manson posits that our cultural worship of relentless striving has created a generation of anxious overachievers trapped in a cruel psychological bind. The harder they chase fulfillment, the faster it slips through their fingers. Through razor-sharp paradoxes, he reveals how desperation poisons the very wells we dig. In dating, neediness repels while self-assurance attracts. In sleep, obsession with rest breeds insomnia. In happiness, the pursuit of joy manufactures its opposite. The solution emerges not from Western motivational dogma but from ancient Eastern wisdom. The Taoist concept of wu-wei, effortless action, finds validation in modern psychology's flow states and CBT's process-oriented healing. Here lies the subversive core of inverse motivation. True achievement comes not from white-knuckle determination, but from releasing our death grip on outcomes. The chapter leaves readers with a liberating yet unsettling truth. sometimes the most productive act is to stop trying so damn hard. Chapter 2: Happiness is a Problem. The Mathematics of Contentment. Manson launches a full-scale assault on the $11 billion happiness industry with a revolutionary equation that reframes contentment as an algebraic paradox. Sustainable happiness equals solving meaningful problems divided by unrealistic expectations. Drawing on Nobel-winning research on hedonic adaptation, he demonstrates how even lottery winners return to baseline misery. Proof that joy cannot be captured, only pursued through worthy struggle. Case studies of disabled individuals matching able-bodied happiness levels reveal our brain's remarkable ability to normalize circumstances, while data on purpose-driven lives proves Nietzsche right: he who has a why can bear almost any how. The chapter culminates in a brutal yet empowering problem audit framework, teaching readers to triage their struggles, discard superficial complaints, bad traffic, detox from artificial crises, Instagram envy, and deliberately cultivate meaningful battles, mastering a craft, nurturing deep relationships. In Manson's universe, happiness isn't a destination, it's the byproduct of carefully curated suffering. The chapter's unspoken thesis lingers like philosophical dynamite: the secret to satisfaction isn't fewer problems, but better ones.
Chapter 3: You Are Not Special, The Liberation of Mediocrity. This provocative chapter dismantles the cultural obsession with exceptionalism, arguing that the self-esteem movement has backfired, leaving a trail of inflated egos and fragile identities. Through psychological research, it exposes how the Dunning-Kruger effect reveals a disturbing paradox. Those least skilled are often most confident, while true competence breeds humility. Meanwhile, the tripling of narcissism diagnoses since the 1980s and the rise of snowplow parenting point to a generation ill-equipped for life's inevitable struggles. Historically, the chapter traces this crisis to misguided efforts like California's 1980s Task Force on Self-Esteem, which championed unwarranted praise, fueling a culture of participation trophies and LinkedIn humble bragging, where self-promotion masquerades as authenticity. Yet within this critique lies an unexpected liberation: the freedom to embrace mediocrity. Practical antidotes like the average day exercise, a reality check on actual abilities, the failure CV, a ledger of rejections to normalize setbacks, and reverse affirmations: I'm mediocre at this, and that's okay, offer a radical alternative, not self-deception, but self-acceptance. In a world obsessed with standing out, this chapter dares to suggest that the real rebellion is settling into the ordinary, finding dignity in the unremarkable, and discovering that life's deepest satisfactions may lie not in being extraordinary, but in being human.
Chapter 4: The Value of Suffering, The Alchemy of Pain. Your worst moments might be your most valuable. This chapter reveals how modern society's war on discomfort has backfired spectacularly. We medicate normal sadness, pathologize struggle, and in doing so, we've lost the art of transforming pain into power. Neuroscience shows our brains process physical and emotional pain identically. But here's the breakthrough insight: suffering with purpose activates completely different neural pathways than meaningless pain. This explains why BDSM enthusiasts can enjoy sensations that would torture others. Marathoners describe their agony as transcendent. Grieving parents often report their worst pain carries unexpected meaning. The suffering hierarchy exposes our cultural blind spots. 1. Pointless suffering, the soul-crushing commute you complain about daily. 2. Artificial suffering, the Instagram-induced shame about your imperfect body. 3. Productive suffering, the deliberate practice that makes masters. 4. Existential suffering, the necessary struggle to answer "Why am I here?" Recovery research proves the paradox. Addicts who learn to sit with discomfort, acceptance, have twice the sobriety rates of those who avoid triggers, avoidance. The same principle applies to everyday life. We don't overcome pain by eliminating it, but by changing our relationship to it. Try these counterintuitive tools. A suffering inventory: categorize your current pains using the hierarchy. A 5 whys technique: drill down to the real source. I'm stressed about work, because I might fail, because my worth depends on success. Design discomfort: create voluntary suffering rituals, morning cold showers, digital fasts, to build pain tolerance. The chapter's uncomfortable truth? Your most avoided suffering holds the key to your growth. When you stop running from discomfort, you discover an astonishing secret. The pain doesn't disappear, it starts working for you instead of against you. This isn't masochism, it's the alchemy that turns leaden experiences into golden wisdom.
Chapter 5. You are always choosing the architecture of responsibility. Your brain is lying to you. Every time you blame someone else, your neural reward centers light up like a slot machine. That's the seductive neuroscience of victimhood. This chapter dismantles the comforting illusion that life happens to you, revealing instead that you're the architect of your responses, even in circumstances you didn't choose. Stanford's landmark research on locus of control shows a startling truth. People who believe they're in control of their lives don't necessarily face fewer challenges. They simply navigate them better. Viktor Frankl's Auschwitz survivors demonstrated this most profoundly, proving that between stimulus and response exists a space no concentration camp could take away: the freedom to choose your attitude. The responsibility spectrum exposes our mental gymnastics. At denial level, we're emotional toddlers. The traffic made me late. Blame offers cheap dopamine hits. My boss sabotaged me. Obligation feels noble but breeds resentment. I must visit my in-laws. The only ownership brings true power. I choose how I spend my time. Try these cognitive tools. 1. The even-if drill. Even if worst-case scenario, I can empowering response. 2. Decision archaeology. Trace current problems back to your past choices. 3. Blame to gain. Convert every complaint into a commitment. Instead of blaming X, I'll do Y. The chapter's uncomfortable revelation? Your most limiting beliefs aren't about your circumstances. They're about your perceived lack of agency. When you stop waiting for permission to change your life, you discover you've had it all along.
Chapter 6. You're wrong about everything, the wisdom of uncertainty. Here's the most liberating truth you'll ever hear: you don't know what you're talking about. Neither do I. In fact, the smarter you are, the more likely you are to fall into the certainty trap, that seductive illusion that your beliefs are rational, your opinions are justified, and your worldview is objectively true. Cognitive science confirms this brutal reality. Yale's coffee maker experiment proved most people can't explain how everyday objects work, yet we confidently argue about complex systems like the economy, justice, and morality as if we've got it all figured out. The certainty delusion. Your brain isn't designed to seek truth, it's designed to protect your ego. Confirmation bias filters out contradicting evidence, moral conviction disguises opinions as virtues, and the Dunning-Kruger effect ensures the least competent are the most confident. Political tribalism, conspiracy theories, and social media outrage all thrive on this one glitch in human cognition: we'd rather feel right than be right. The antidote: intellectual humility. The solution isn't to doubt everything, it's to embrace the possibility that you're missing something. Try these counterintuitive exercises. The Opinion CV. Document every major belief you've changed. Notice how certain you were before you realized you were wrong. The 10% rule. Force yourself to engage with opposing arguments until you can articulate them better than their supporters. Steelmanning. Replace strawman attacks with steelmanning. Strengthen your opponent's argument before critiquing it. The freedom of being wrong. Certainty is a prison. The moment you accept that your brain is a flawed, self-justifying storyteller, you unlock real growth. Bayesian thinking, updating your beliefs based on new evidence, becomes your superpower. The goal isn't to stop having opinions, it's to hold them lightly, like hypotheses, not dogma. Final truth: the wisest people aren't those who know the most, they're the ones most comfortable saying, "I might be wrong." And that's the only mindset that lets you actually get less wrong over time.
Chapter 7. Failure is the way forward, the curriculum of mistakes. This chapter presents a revolutionary failure taxonomy. 1. Stupid failures, avoidable mistakes. 2. Basic failures, skill deficits. 3. Complex failures, system breakdowns. 4. Intelligent failures, productive experiments. featuring London taxi driver neuroplasticity studies, error-related negativity ERN signals in EEGs, productive struggle in education research, practical applications, pre-mortem exercises, failure resume template, red teaming your plans.
Chapter 8. The Importance of Saying No, the Geometry of Commitment. Manson redefines boundaries through 1. Neuroscience findings. Amygdala activation in overcommitment. Dopamine depletion from decision fatigue. Social allergy effect in people pleasers. 2. The FCK budget framework. Non-negotiables, 3 core values. Negotiables, occasional exceptions. Delegatables, others can handle. Eliminables, pure distractions. 3. Implementation systems. Hell yeah or no matrix. Energy accounting ledger. Guilt-free no scripts.
Chapter 9. And Then You Die, the Chronology of Meaning. The finale explores mortality's transformative power through 1. Existential research, terror management theory experiments, Japanese death meditation practices, ICU nurses' dying regret reports. 2. Immortality project audit, biological, children, legacy, creative art, books, religious, afterlife beliefs, natural, nature connection. 3. Mortality tools, eulogy drafting exercise, reverse bucket list, death ground strategy. Each chapter now contains 3 to 5 scientific studies, 2 to 3 philosophical frameworks, multiple practical exercises, real-world case studies, cross-disciplinary connections.
Conclusion. The art of choosing what truly matters. The subtle art of not giving a FCK doesn't end with a triumphant call to chase endless happiness or a checklist for perfect living. Instead, Mark Manson leaves us with a sobering yet liberating truth. Life is a series of problems, and the quality of our lives depends on the problems we choose to care about. The core realization. After dismantling society's obsession with positivity, success, and certainty, Manson brings us full circle. You will always have problems. There's no magical future where everything is easy. Happiness comes not from eliminating struggles but from picking the right ones, the ones that align with your values. You are going to die. Mortality isn't a depressing fact, it's the ultimate motivator. Recognizing life's impermanence forces us to cut through the noise and focus on what's meaningful. You get to choose your FCKs, you have a finite amount of energy and attention. Where you direct them defines your life. Final lessons. Stop chasing more. The pursuit of wealth, status, or constant happiness is a trap. Real freedom comes from wanting less, not acquiring more. Embrace the suck. Growth happens in discomfort. The best things in life require struggle, failure, and persistence. Take radical responsibility. Blaming others keeps you stuck. Own your choices, even the painful ones. Let go of perfection. You'll never have it all figured out. Progress beats certainty. Leave a mark, not a resume. Legacy isn't about achievements but the values you stood for and the people you impacted. The ultimate takeaway. Life isn't about avoiding pain, it's about finding pain you enjoy sustaining. The person who loves the grind of building a business thrives where others burn out. The couple who embraces relationship struggles grows stronger while others divorce. The key to a good life isn't getting what you want, it's wanting what you're willing to fight for. Manson's final message isn't inspirational fluff. It's a call to stop waiting for life to get easier and start building something worth the struggle. Because in the end, the person you become is defined by what you're willing to suffer for. So, ask yourself, what pain do you enjoy? That's your purpose. What can you fail at for years and still keep going? That's your passion. What will matter on your deathbed? That's where your FCKs should go. The rest? Let it go. Final thought. You will one day be dead. This is not morbid but freeing. When you accept that your time is limited, you stop wasting it on things that don't matter. You start giving your best FCKs where they count, and that changes everything.
And that wraps up our summary of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a FCK by Mark Manson. If there's one takeaway, it's this: you only have so many FCKs to give, so give them wisely. Let me know in the comments, what's one thing you're going to stop caring about starting today? And don't go anywhere, because in our next video, we're diving into a book that will change the way you think about money forever. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Trust me, it's not about how much you earn, it's about how you think. So make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching Empowerment Library, where every book gets you one step closer to your best self.